Hello guys, this is Rosalind Kamara, and today I am doing a faculty interview with one of my favorite professors during this global pandemic. His name is Dr. Keenan Hattet, and he's currently my genetics professor. The reason why I am doing this interview with him is because he has really helped me succeed so far in genetics, one of the hardest classes that the STEM field has to offer. And he's really passionate about helping students succeed. He understands what it means to be a college student in a pandemic, and he's really helpful with that. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me today, Dr. Keenan. I just have a few questions for you, and pretty much just pretty easy. What classes do you currently teach?
Okay, so yes, hardest class possible at MSU, genetics. Yes, I am in charge of that for in the springs. And then I also teach a lot of human physiology, and I'm hoping to open up a bioinformatics course because my research is in lymphoma genetics. And so my job is to basically collect all the genes and see like, what are we going to treat with? What are we going to do here? So that's kind of what I do.
Sweet. Okay, thank you for that. Also, what's your favorite part about teaching in MSU?
My biggest part is that I have a lot of different students, like even in this class, that have a lot of different ideas, talents, focuses. That makes things very good. You can typically sometimes end up with a course sometimes where it's like everybody's only interested in medicine and that's it. And there's not like a huge like a way to have a discussion like outside of that sometimes, which is tough. So that's what I really love. And specifically the bio department has so many different majors. That's why you can attract different people to have different ideas and kind of all come together. The reason we can have so many majors is that we have a big talented pool of faculty with diverse talents that are going to be able to like discuss stuff with you, everything. And yeah, me, I'm kind of jack of all trades. You do have a lot of people that are really hyper focused and awesome to talk to about like very specific stuff, which I love. My other favorite thing is that this is not like MSU is not income restricted. Like we can help, everybody's going to make it. And I think that we offer an excellent bio degree. So that's awesome.
That's true. Thank you for that. Also, what do you think makes Minnesota State unique?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this, and the biggest thing is that if you go to a big school, so like University of Nebraska Lincoln is where, like, that's the subsidiary where I got my PhD. That's a big class. You may never meet that professor. They may never want to meet with you. On the other hand, most small schools are going to be those income restrictive style things where it's like, yeah, you've got access, but you've also got like, it's kind of tough, right? It's not perfect. Here, we have a ton of resources because we're a big school. We have a ton of faculty you can talk to, and all the faculty really enjoy like speaking with students. We have 10 hours office hours a week. We want to help you. We want you to come in. We want you to get feedback for your projects. We like that. You're never going to run into the faculty that you may see in a gigantic school. And no offense to UNL, because I like Lincoln, but it's going to be a lot tougher to make that connection and go have that discussion, maybe go beyond class into careers, into interests and anything like that. So for me, it's kind of like right in the middle where you want to be, I'd say, for that bio degree, which I really enjoy.
That's sweet. Thank you for that. How can students get involved in department activities outside of their classroom, like extracurriculars or anything of that sort?
Right. So, and this is a unique question as far as with COVID right now, right? So one of the good things, and I'll tell you is, and I assume we're going to get out of this soon, but hopefully. The good thing with bio classes is that being in a lab is a very good way to interact with your classmates in an age where it's kind of like hybrid learning, things like that. The more that you're open to diving into group projects, the more people that you'll meet because they know people, and all of a sudden your network can go like that. So that's one mechanism is through class, so long as you're okay to like kind of dive in. It is tough, I'm not gonna lie. Not everybody's always had a pleasant, like amazing group project experience, and that's okay. Yeah. The other side of things is that MSU is a very social campus. It is very good, as far as I can tell, to get out and know people and build that network of people that, like, even if you only end up knowing like at first like 5 people, those 5 people know 5 people. And that's kind of how things build. Some of the extracurriculars involved on campus, I think, are really coming back stronger. And maybe you could tell me more since you're like kind of on the ground as a student.
Yeah.
Are things kind of returning back to normal, right? And I think as you do that, like there's a lot of resources here invested in student involvement in activities. Like there's a massive list of things that you can sign up for, go out, try, things like that. So you've got all the resources here. The fact that it's a college town helps a lot too. there's a lot of resources just that exist here because of the college. So I think it's a really good fit.
Okay. And like you mentioned, I'm involved in a lot of extracurricular, but it's good to hear about the faculty owns view about extracurriculars and what students can get involved in. So that's good advice. Thank you. Finally, what advice do you have for new students to be successful in their courses?
Okay. You know what I'm about to say. Yeah. What is it? It's all the hardcore medical center stuff. So right. My PhD is not from a traditional university. It's from a medical center. So there I learned from medical school professionals, allied health, dentistry, nursing. Main expectation, and this is mean, so you don't have to like hit the gas so hard in your first year.
Do you?
But you should be putting in at least 8 hours of thinking per class. I'd say, especially your hard ones, okay?
Yeah.
You should at least try to meet with your profs at least like every 2 weeks. Just even if everything's going well, just go in and be like, hey, like just checking in, just like thought about like these ideas, could bounce some stuff around, like I had some questions as far as like this stuff. Coming up with questions is a hard thing too, but find like study guides or anything that your profs are giving you. Eliminate any of the questions that you're like, I feel great about that. Find the 5 or 6 that you're like, we're not there yet. I'm not there yet. And that's the biggest piece of advice is knowing what you're good at. Be confident in it, but do not wait until the last minute to be like, I don't know this right here. Because that little piece may connect to stuff downstream in the class. Mm-hmm. So a key thing is use the resources available. If you have them here, we have open doors. We got 10 hours office hours, right? Use them, please, 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 because that's the one thing that you get is when it's like too little too late at the end. And it's like, you just weren't here in time. So
true.
Stay ahead, get ahead, stay ahead. And if you can slow down after that, like, hey, the class was like, I've got this, then that's okay. It's a lot easier to slow down than it is to ratchet back up, right?
True. That's true. Wow. Thank you. That was helpful advice. Well, students, if you've heard it, study, meet your professors. I make sure I meet Professor Keenan every week, at least every week.
So, yeah.
And that's what made me successful in genetics so far. Thank you so much for your time today, Dr. Keenan. It has been a really nice interview with you.